This is interrogation video more than 20 years in the making.
I don't know how to answer and go into. I don't want to incriminate myself with questions. You guys are professionals. I'm not. I don't know. I really do think I need an attorney. I need to use the phone and I need to call someone and I need legal representation before I respond to anything else.
Okay, that's fine. We're not going to ask you any more questions. There's no tears coming out of your face.
I'm very dry right now.
A murderer confronted after police finally crack a cold case. What these detectives say they have on a suspect who puts on the performance of a lifetime in the interview room. We're on the case presented by Law&Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. This story shows that an investigation is never over, even if it goes unsolved for more than 20 years. Here's the victim in this story. Her name was Leslie Preer. She was a wife. She was a mom. She lived in Montgomery County, Maryland, the suburbs of Washington, D.C., and she lost her life in May of 2001. This is video from the scene from back around that time, long before body camera videos existed. Police say someone came into her home and strangled her and beat her to death. Blunt force trauma was the official cause of her death. Her husband and also her co-worker found her dead inside the home. They came back to the house after she didn't show up for work. Initially, investigators pointed their fingers at Leslie's husband. His name was Carl, but people called him Sandy. Detectives were actually so confident that he was the one who did it, they tried to get him to confess in this interrogation just 22 days after his wife's murder.
I would love to be able to say you didn't do this. I really, honest to God, would. I'd like it to be some other here with a record of that kind of behavior. But that's not the way this is playing out. And that's not the way it's going to play out. We all know who's responsible. It's just a matter of getting to the truth of it all and having you explain to us what drove all this. Give us a break. Give yourself a break. It's got to be a living nightmare. I mean, what are you getting, 1, 2 hours sleep a night maybe? Just out of sheer exhaustion. How long can you keep your job doing that? It's going to tell on you. People at work are wondering. Your family's wondering. Everybody's wondering. And they're reading the papers and they're not seeing anything about police picking up some stranger or something like that. They're all intelligent people. They don't have to be rocket scientists. They don't have to be police detectives to figure out where this is headed. Just talk to us about this, Sandy. Get it over with. And start building, rebuilding. Don't wait to kick every damn brick out of the foundation that the whole house comes down. You need to rebuild. This is as low as it's going to get. And you're the one that decides which way it's going to go. And I'm just asking you to comprehend, understand all this, and what's going to happen. I don't know what more we can say, what more we can do. But there are things that will occur occur, it's like a runaway freight train. Can't stop it. You can get all the advice in the world, cannot stop it from happening.
Come on, Sandy, the inevitable.
Let me say this. I'll stay here all night with you guys and listen to you talk. But I repeat, I'm not saying anything unless my lawyer's here.
Sandy called for a lawyer, but he maintained his innocence, and he was telling the truth. The biggest piece of evidence in this case that law enforcement had was DNA that was found underneath Leslie's fingernails that showed that she struggled with her killer. But they couldn't find anybody who matched that DNA. It did exclude Sandy as a suspect because he wasn't a match. After this, though, it appears this case went cold. Before we get back to this episode of On the Case, I need to take a moment and talk about our partner and sponsor, Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm with more than 1,000 attorneys, and they win a lot. They've recovered over $25 billion for more than 500,000 clients. In the past few months, a client in Florida received $12 million after the insurance company offered just $350,000. In Pennsylvania, a client was awarded $26 million. That is 40 times the insurer's $650,000 offer. Another client in Pennsylvania received $29 million after being offered only $500,000. Even if you don't think your case is worth millions of dollars, why not fight for what you deserve? Morgan & Morgan makes it so easy to start a claim. You can do it with just 8 easy clicks on your phone. So if you've been hurt and you need to start a claim, go to www.forthepeople.com/OTC. You can also scan this QR code on your screen or click the link below. Leslie's daughter called police the next year, and she went into the station for an update, and this is what they told her.
Well, first of all, I guess you called me and you said that you wanted to come by and talk or so forth, so here we are.
Here we are.
Go ahead.
Well, basically it's me. I haven't really had much contact with you guys.
Uh-huh.
I was just wondering if what I should be doing or if there's like where things stand.
Well, we followed, a number of leads,
Mm-hmm.
in reference to the revelation some time ago, I guess towards the end of last summer, where we found some material, DNA material that looked like it was from someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Which, and as you know, we were focusing pretty strongly on your father at that point in time.
Right.
Given the facts and circumstances of the case as we knew them at that time. And of course, when that came out, then we began to spread that out, because obviously there was someone else there or within the residence. In the course of that investigation, we haven't found a thing that would tie it.
Mm-hmm.
We've done a number of interviews with people who do burglaries, things like that, home invasion things, because if your dad's not involved in this, it's got to be someone that would have a reason to be in the house or something like that. That was an uninvited guest or something.
Right.
There's a number of scenarios we can play with, but that's basically what we're left with.
There were other suspects that Sandy suggested, people who he found to be odd or someone who might have had some sort of issue with his wife, but there were no arrests and no one matched that DNA until 2024. There was one person back in 2002 that a neighbor suggested might have something to do with Leslie's death. It was a former boyfriend of Leslie's daughter, Lauren. Police decided to revisit that tip, and they followed that ex-boyfriend to Dulles Airport, and as they followed him, they saw that he drank out of a bottle of water. He then threw that water bottle away, and that's when police went into the trash can, took the water bottle, and swabbed it for DNA. Here's video from when they arrested that man. His name, Eugene Gligor.
All right, we'll adjust it. Hold on. They're not made for comfort, but we'll make it.
I get it.
Yeah, we'll make it. We'll ease it up on it. Yeah, no problem. Man. I ain't got nothing personal wrong with you.
Yeah.
Do you go to the office, or what do you do?
No, I work from home.
Okay. What were you doing out here? Just chilling out in the fresh air?
Just having some coffee. Yeah.
Okay. So you didn't know anything about this warrant? Okay. Our boss will tell you everything about it, man. It's nothing big.
I'm gonna take him, hold his arm. I'm gonna twist his arm straight. Move your arm back.
I drove this here by coincidence, I think, just so you know. Like a cruiser.
Yeah.
He was, yeah. That's just weird coincidence.
Police brought Gligor back to the station for an interview. He is now 45 years old. He had lived in Washington, D.C. for 20 years, moved on, it seemed, with his life from when Leslie was killed in 2001. But now he was in an interrogation room and about to face some very serious questions about his past.
I am Detective Graston. This is Detective DuPoy.
Hi there.
From Montgomery County.
Okay.
I'm sure you're wondering what this is all
I
about.
would really like to know.
Yeah.
This has been really hard, whatever's
Sure.
happening.
Well, we're going to get through all of that with you.
Detectives then read Eugene his rights as he says and acts like he has no idea what this is about.
Do you recall back in 2001, Leslie Preer?
Yes, that she was murdered, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's the case that we are investigating. So you went to BCC with her daughter at the time?
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay. And what was your relationship with Lauren, the daughter?
We had dated.
Okay. And when did you guys date? Do you remember years?
Exact dates, I'm not entirely sure.
Were you in high school or was it after high school?
Yeah, it was high school. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe like 1994 to 1997 or something around there.
Okay. And from your dates of birth, I can see you're a little bit younger than Lauren. So was she already graduated from high school, or were you guys both still in high school when you guys were dating?
We were both in high school. She had finished high school, and I believe we had dated for a few months while she was in college, but that was it.
Okay. So back then, when you guys were dating, where did you live?
I lived in with my mother in Rockville.
Okay. Do you remember the address or what street or anything?
I wish I did. I don't.
Okay. And you said you lived with your mother. Were your parents separated?
Yeah.
Okay. Where did your dad live?
He lived in Chevy Chase, and yeah.
Do you know the street or
Yeah,
neighborhood or
Brookside Drive.
Brookside
Yeah.
Drive, okay.
Yeah.
And so you and Lauren had dated well before her mother was killed. Do you remember, like, were you still in touch with Lauren when this stuff happened to her mom?
No, we had broken up a couple years before, at least. Maybe longer, I'm not sure. And I believe I reached out just to send my regards, and maybe saw her a couple times, and but that was it.
Okay. Do you remember how you found out about it?
I remember I was at work, and I believe she had actually told me that she had come into where I was working at a restaurant, and she had told me that what had happened.
What restaurant was that? Do you remember?
It was a restaurant called Black's.
Okay.
In Bethesda.
Okay. Let me see. So you guys were just kind of cordial at the time, but you weren't really close. It's not like you guys kept touch that much.
Correct.
Okay. When you guys were dating, how close were you with the family? Like, did you spend a lot of time at their house, or did you know them real well?
I knew the family. I, definitely spent time. She spent time at my house. I've spent time at her house. Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
So how were you close with her parents?
I mean, I wouldn't say close with them. I don't know how much, I don't know if close would be the right word.
Detectives are trying to see what they can get out of Eugene before unveiling the evidence that they have on him. Detectives then start to get more direct with their conversation.
So from the crime scene, we have DNA from the person who was there when Leslie died. So there's Leslie's blood all over the place, obviously, but then there's also another DNA profile that was picked up from the crime scene. And we had put that into CODIS, our database from the National CODIS DNA Index System, and it has never hit. So whoever was there, whoever's DNA was also on the scene, has never been arrested. And that's why we were going through doing all of these elimination DNA samples to find out, you know, okay, well, this person couldn't have done it because we matched their DNA to it. So we realized that they never talked to you, never did anything, and we wanted to find out more about you. And if there was any kind of situation where you could have been at the house at that time.
I'm a little confused. So to find out more and talk to me, why not just call me and ask me to come in and talk to me versus have marshals come and arrest me and bring me in? I'm just confused as to why that's the case.
Well, because we needed to talk to you in a controlled environment, and because there's a little bit more to it than what we've told you so far.
Could you tell me?
Well, we're getting there. I'm trying to give you an opportunity to be a little bit forthcoming before we...
I mean, I feel a little bit trapped here, like...
Well, you're under arrest, so you should feel trapped. Okay?
Right, and so I think, you know, I mean, probably asking for a lawyer is my best course of action at this point.
Okay.
Instead of doing any more discussing or talking about it, it just doesn't seem... I don't understand, so I'd like to have somebody...
Well, that's why we're trying to talk to you about it.
I know,
but we can't...
and there's two of you and one of me, so
Sure.
I feel a little outnumbered, and I probably would need some type of representation if I am under arrest, as you said, which I am.
Yeah, okay.
And so I think that having a lawyer would be the best for me in my interest at this point.
That's totally fine, and we don't have to ask you any more questions, but we are going to just tell you some stuff.
Okay.
Okay? So from the crime scene, the DNA that was taken, we actually have a sample of your DNA, and it was compared to the crime scene DNA, and it matched. So we know that you were there at the time when Leslie died.
But I never gave a sample of DNA.
That's correct. We obtained a sample from a discarded water bottle that you drank out of. So you were followed, and we collected it after you discarded it into the trash, and it was swabbed and it was compared. So your DNA matches the crime scene DNA.
I don't know what to say. I have no recollection. I have no memory. I don't know what to say.
Okay, well, that's why we wanted to talk to you, to find out if there's any other explanation. But we can't ask you any more questions if you want a lawyer present.
Yeah, I think I should have a lawyer present. I don't know what to do or say. It doesn't make sense to me, so I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Do you have a lawyer that you...
No.
Okay.
I don't have to call. I don't know. I probably would call my girlfriend and ask her to help find somebody. I don't know.
You know, we wanted to try to see if there was another angle or another side to this story, and
I mean,
you know, we know
why
that...
would my DNA be there?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
So, I don't know. I don't know, you know? I mean, I was in the house, but it was years before,
Correct.
you know, when I dated her.
Correct.
I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I don't know. I don't understand. This is all very bewildering, very strange. Is there more? You're gonna tell me? Is there more?
I mean, we've told you plenty. We can't continue to ask you questions.
If you want to keep talking, we can. But if you want to stop, you have to let us know for sure.
Yeah.
We can tell you more about, what we think happened.
I don't. I mean, what you think happened? I don't know. I can't verify. I don't know. I don't recall. I don't have any memory. I didn't do anything that you're talking about, so I don't know. And I don't feel like I can. I don't know how to answer and go into. I don't want to incriminate myself with questions. You guys are professionals. I'm not. I don't know. I really do think I need an attorney. I need to use the phone and I need to call someone and I need legal representation before I respond to anything else.
Okay, that's fine. We're not going to ask you any more questions. There's no tears coming out of your face.
I'm very dry right now.
You're dry?
I'm very dry. I'm parched. I'm dehydrated. You can probably see my eyes are bloodshot red because I'm just tired and drained. I don't know what's going on. You want me to drink water so I can tear? Like,
no,
what the
I
fuck
don't want
is
you
wrong
to tear.
with you?
I don't want you to tear. I just don't
What
want
are you trying to say?
I'm just trying to say that this seems a little put on.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
No.
Oh my God, you're so full of it. You're after. This is the police. Yes, like it makes sense. It's in your eyes, it's guilty until proven innocent. I get it.
Well, honey, your DNA was in the crime scene. That's why, there's a reason.
There's due process, right?
Sure.
Due process. So you're saying I'm guilty before I've even been put into a court of law?
I'm saying that there's probable cause to believe that you were there when
I think what
she
you were
died.
saying was the contrary to that. So okay, but I don't remember. I don't know. No, I don't know.
What we're trying to figure out is how your blood was at the scene that day.
If there's an alternate explanation, that's why we wanted to talk to you today, okay? So I feel like you just need to take a breath for a second, okay? That's what we're trying to figure out. Why is your blood there?
Could it have been, an interrupted burglary? Did something happen where you didn't expect anybody to be home?
I have no idea. I don't remember. I don't recall. Again, you're asking me questions. I don't know.
I'm not
and
asking
I
you a
asked
question.
You did. You just asked me a question, and I asked for legal representation, and you guys are very smug looking at me like I've done something, and of course it's innocent until proven guilty, right? Sure. Am I wrong or am I right?
You are entitled to your due process, absolutely.
This is insane. I really don't know what else to say other than please allow me to, you read it to me, right? That
Yep.
I am allowed legal representation.
Absolutely.
This would be the best thing for me to do right now.
We
I
are
don't
not going to
understand.
ask you any more questions.
Nope.
You said you wanted to know more, so we were telling you more.
I'm sorry. I'm really on edge and
I can see.
upset and
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. You would like legal representation? That is absolutely your right. We will not ask you any more questions. All right?
And how do I go about doing this?
We're done talking to you. They're going to walk you back over to processing, and once they are done, I don't know if they've done fingerprints and all that stuff with you yet. Once they're done with all that, and you meet with, I think in DC, you're going to still meet with a commissioner and be charged with this paperwork for this, or be served with it, and then you'll have an opportunity to make whatever phone calls you need to make.
Okay.
Detectives were able to match Eugene to this DNA through a familial database. They entered the DNA, they got a hit to a distant relative of his in Romania, and then they were able to trace it back to him in the United States.
You keep saying you don't remember and you don't have any recollection, but if somebody was not involved, it would be an adamant, I didn't do this.
I didn't do it. I definitely didn't do it. Like, this is absolutely,
you know, I've been an alcoholic in recovery for years now. I've been sober for years. And there are many, many times in which earlier life wasn't great. You know, abusive father, issues at, you know, but at the same time, this isn't something that I know I didn't do it. I know I wasn't involved. And I just don't understand how this has come to this. I really wish I knew.
Eugene Gligor was charged with the murder of Leslie Prier. He acted so shocked, saying he couldn't have done it in that interview. But then, in May of this year, he pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. Here's what Leslie's daughter Lauren said at the time of his arrest per NBC4 in Washington.
They knew him as long as I knew him as well. So never in a million years did we think that one of our people could hurt my mom like that.
Eugene was sentenced this week to serve 30 years in prison as part of a plea deal. It's unclear what the motive was for murder. Prosecutors say they would not have been able to prove that this murder was premeditated had this gone to trial. This case may bring closure and justice in a murder that rocks suburban Washington, D.C. But one person who won't be able to experience that closure is Sandy, Leslie's husband, who detectives first looked at as a prime suspect in 2001. Sandy died in 2017. His wife's murder back then was still unsolved. His obituary reads that he never recovered from his wife's death, and his daughter says that he died of a broken heart. That will do it for On the Case, presented by Law&Crime. Subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify. I'm Chris Stewart. We'll see you next time.